Yeah, the dog's running around the street somewhere. Best of luck. And on we went.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Real Estate Halftime Show. I'm James Harper. We're live here in the secret headquarters in Hendersonville and have a very special guest. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've met this young lady a few different times, and she has some great things to share about real estate, what's going on in Nashville, what her world looks like on a day-to-day basis, because she is all over the place. And we'll talk more about that here in just a few seconds. Stay tuned for the Real Estate Halftime Show.
It's time for the Real Estate Halftime Show. Sit back, relax, and listen to Nashville's premier inside scoop to real estate with the Mortgage Extraordinaire himself, James Harper.
What was the craziest deal you've ever done?
Oh, Lordy.
What is the crazy, let's just get into it. What is the craziest deal that it's ever happened, whether it be a seller or a buyer or something that caught you completely off guard? We've had some crazy ones on the show, right?
A couple. I've had a couple doozies. One agent, Tony, our man Tony, he opened up the front door of to show his buyer a house, and dogs went running down the street, and he's chasing the dogs in dress shoes. Had to go chase these dogs and corral them back up and get them back into the house. So, any crazy stories you have to share? I mean, people always love to hear this stuff. Yeah, I've actually been in a situation very similar to that. It was one of my first buyers that I ever closed
and that always happen that way?
Yeah. And Nashville specific, like looking in Davidson County. So she didn't have a super large budget. You know, we were working with a smaller budget, and we got to this one. We had seen a few that were like, okay, like these need some work, but we got to this one house, and it was very, very similar situation. There was, when we got up to the front door, the whole doorknob was like missing. Like it was just a hole, and you could just look in and like see inside the house, but like the deadbolt was closed. So I was like, oh, for the love of God. But there was no lockbox there. So I'm like trying to call the agent. I'm like, hey, like we're here. You know, we have this showing.
So the deadbolt was locked.
But the whole knob is gone. You can just, I probably could have just reached my hand in there and opened the deadbolt.
Wow.
But honestly, like it was in such rough shape, like the exterior, that I was honestly afraid to touch anything. Like I was like, I might need some gloves. So I was like, let me just like walk around back and see, like maybe the back door is unlocked, and there was like a little fence. So I opened the gate. There's a pit bull back there, just like, and I'm not afraid of dogs in any way, shape, or form, but he's back there on his, like on a chain, just going nuts. He rips the chain, runs out of the gate, starts running down the street. I'm like, oh God, what do I do? You know, like I'm not chasing the dog.
So the dog didn't care that you were there.
No, he just wanted to be like set free. He was like, hey, the gate's open. Like, this is my shot, you know, like, yeah. But I mean, and just the backyard was a mess. I mean, I don't know how long that dog had been back there, honestly.
Let's talk about that for a quick second. So I was renting a house out. I owned a house. I had fixed it all up. It was a cute little starter home in Hermitage. And I moved away for an engineering job. And so I said, well, I'm going to rent my house out. My neighbors up the street said, hey, my son needs a house to rent. Great. You know, they know each other right down the street. Never paid attention that he had like 2 pit bulls. And so I had this screened in porch in my backyard, and you know, fake carpet or whatever you call it. And you know, it was a nice little screened in porch. When I came back after a year to go kick them out because they weren't paying, and I go in my backyard, I didn't think a pit bull could jump that high.
Oh, gosh.
But they had mud marks 12 feet in the air on the screened-in porch. All the carpet was gone. It was down to concrete. The door was completely, like, shredded with it was white. But these pit bulls are very destructive.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how something so small could be so destructive. But man, they are. Anyways, that's a sidebar.
Yeah, no. I mean, at the end of the day, we did not go inside the house. I called the agent, left her a voicemail, was like,
said,
hey,
oh, by the way, your
seller's pit bull.
And your dog's gone.
Yeah, the dog's running around the street somewhere. Best of luck. And on we went, you know.
So you literally left the dog.
What am I supposed to do? I am not animal control, James. Like, sorry, but no.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some doozies with, you know, just
all right. What's
stuff's
number
falling
2?
apart.
What's number 2? You walk on anybody?
Oh, hey. Okay.
Yes.
Let me tell you this.
All right, here we go.
You're
Here
a
we go.
lender. Cheers.
Cheers to this one.
I am sure you're going to have some things to say about this one being in your position.
All right.
Okay. So I have this listing. We hit the market. Beautiful home. Pictures are fantastic. Great neighborhood in a very sought after area, you know, school zones and everything. We hit the market day 2, full price offer. Great. Sends me the pre-approval with the offer. I immediately call the lender because it's someone I've honestly just never heard of. So just full transparency is when I'm representing a seller, as soon as I get an offer, I look up the agent on the other side. I want to know what they've done, just so that I know, what am I working with here? Is this person experienced? Am I going to probably have to walk them through a little bit and just kind of handhold? And then I always, contact the lender when they send the pre-approval. And I spoke with the lender.
Not all agents do that, but it is nice.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm if I'm representing a seller, I just want to know, especially if it's a lender, a more national level type lender situation, not somebody local that I've heard of or have worked with. So I call the lender. I did get her on the phone. She was very nice. Yep, they're good to go. They're squared away. Everything's great. Okay. Just here's my contact information. Keep me updated throughout the transaction if you don't mind. We're rocking and rolling. Inspections, we're good to go. My seller moved out. It was the weekend before closing. 3 days before closing, I don't get a phone call. I don't get anything. I get an email.
Here we go.
From the buyer's agent. And all it has attached is a denial letter from the lender. Hey, looks like this one's not going to work. So sorry.
And that's it.
Excuse me, sir. What? We close in 3 days. What in the actual
WTF?
bleep? Yeah, what? I was oh no. So I pick up the phone. I don't even call the agent because I'm oh, nope. I immediately call the lender. And she's well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you can expand on this, but gave me this thing about the rates aren't what they were when I locked them in, is when I gave them the pre-approval and their payment's different and they didn't realize. But again, do we not talk about that throughout the conversation?
Should.
Yeah. So anyway, went back to the market.
Oh.
Sat on the market for 2 months. Did a couple price drops. It's sold now. It's all great. It's, it was a happy ending all around.
I shared this on the show before once where the client was getting ready to buy the house. Somebody delayed it. I don't remember. It wasn't us, but somebody delayed it another day. And so it must have been the seller, something with the seller. And the house caught on fire that day.
What?
Yes.
What?
The house caught on fire the day they were supposed to close. So the day that it got pushed to, they never got there because the house was burnt down.
Holy.
And so fortunate for the client.
I mean, yeah.
But how crazy is that?
That is insane. Okay, my story's nothing compared to that, but
house burns down the day they were supposed to close, but they never did close. And fortunately for them,
my gosh.
I don't know what would have happened there because, I mean, it would have been
what
caught.
Would have happened?
It would have been caught right in that
weird transfer of ownership and recording the deed and stuff. That is wild.
It's real sour than sweet.
You're right. On that note,